I'm Sarah Kozlik, and I'm one of the team leads with the Living Well Group. And I'm so excited. I have Steve Diaz here with Tidal Mortgage Group, and we are going to do a Q&A over some of the top questions we get from home buyers. All right, Steve, you ready to jump in?
Yes.
All right. Tell us a little bit about yourself and Tidal Mortgage Group and what sets you apart from the rest of the lenders in the area.
Yep, absolutely. So I've been in the lending space for over 20 years. I've worked for a major bank, a credit union, and a retail mortgage lender. During that time, I've had different positions, which have helped me kind of understand, the entire mortgage industry. I've also learned a lot about the positives and negatives of the home buying experience. I've taken those, tried to create the ultimate client experience, and created Tidal Mortgage Group in January of 2024. So I operate as a wholesale mortgage broker. What that does is it allows me to have access to a lot more lending products, loan types, and it gives me the ability to have access to wholesale mortgage rates, which are typically going to be on your lower side, and kind of pair that with lower fees as well. And it really gives me a lot more creativity and flexibility in the home buying process.
I love it. Excellent. Okay, pre-approval process. This can be daunting. Can you kind of just walk us through it and tell us how you guide a buyer through this process?
Yeah.
And a little bit about it.
Absolutely. So the pre-approval process is step one in the mortgage process. And what I think is it starts with the conversation. I'm not one to just send out an online application for somebody to complete. I like to jump on the phone, meet in person and things like that, and really kind of find out exactly what that person's trying to accomplish. It could be a first-time home buyer. It could be an investor. It could be somebody that's trying to do a refinance. I like to ask a lot of identifying questions to kind of figure out, in my mind, what's going to be the best product and solution for them. During that time too, we'll also go through the actual pre-approval, which is some brief questionnaires and things like that. And then we will verify credit, assets, and income if that applies, depending on the loan type. Once we do that, we kind of do a thorough due diligence up front to make sure that as the buyer does move through that home buying process, there's no stones unturned. That's something I take pride in.
Excellent. So how long does that process take?
Very quick. It could be as quick as an hour. It's a very quick turnaround.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Steve, what are some common misconceptions buyers have about down payments?
So I think the 20% down payment for a primary purchase is probably the number one. I think that there are so many options available now, and that's something that we kind of uncovered during the pre-approval process. I think it's important to be able to understand exactly what is a home buyer looking to contribute towards the purchase with their own funds and things like that. And during that process, we will run a lot of different payment scenarios and things like that so that we can show those different options. I think a lot of times people are so hesitant to start the home buying process because they think they don't have enough to start. But again, it's having that conversation.
I love it. And you're so good about giving different scenarios, and then your buyer can pick the best one that fits for them. Excellent. All right, local lender advantage. Tell us, why does working with a local lender matter so much, especially in our competitive market?
So, I think I take that boots on the ground approach to being a local lender. I'm a part of my community. I live here and things like that. And I think it's important when you're working in the home buying process, there's a lot of different partners involved, and being available, having communication, and really understanding our market. It's very vital to be competitive, have a competitive offer depending on the scenario and things like that. And also, I'm a part of this community. I love to be able to work with individuals that might be relocating here, further growing within the community as well. And I really enjoy helping be a part of that Charleston area.
I love it. Okay, final advice. What's one piece of advice you wish every buyer knew before starting the home buying process?
Yeah, I've said it already, but don't be afraid to have that initial conversation. I think it's so important for individuals to have that opening conversation. Don't be afraid to ask questions and things like that, because there's a lot of possibilities out there. The reason that I started Tidal Mortgage Group is being able to have access to all these unique loan scenarios and things like that. And I truly love what I do. If I can share that information for my clients and maybe come up with a unique home buying experience for them, that's a win for me.
Yeah.
So being able to help somebody that might not think that they're ready, just being able to pass that information forward is a win for me.
I love it. Excellent. Steve, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it, and walking us through the loan process. And I think the biggest takeaway is it does not have to be overwhelming. All you have to do is pick up the phone, start with a conversation with Steve, and he'll get you started on that, and I'll help you buy the house. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I really appreciate it. Steve, thank you for joining us. If you'd like to get in touch with him, his information is in the email and also in the video description. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you.